Who's winning?
Him. He always wins. Even when he gives up, he'll sneak back, you know, and come and bite you. But he likes to box. He gets like a wild hair up his ass because he's part wild, you know.
Uh-huh.
So, but I win most of the time. 'Cause I'm daddy. He calms down every now and then. When new people show up, he gets all upset. No one pays attention to him.
Uh-huh. All right, yeah, maybe we could use this as a transition.
Yeah, no problem.
So,
Yeah, you gotta hold him down like this for a little while till he calms down.
nice. All right, so Joe, give us your life story.
My life story. Well,
Yeah, for people out there who may not know.
Well, I'm 30. I live in San Francisco.
Uh-huh.
I am very immature. I make photos.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much the sum of it right now. I just that's what I do full time. Don't really have a job other than hanging out and then doing freelance work. And I like to make street photos.
Nice. So you're having a pretty big jump in your life right now. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Sure. Yeah, I'm moving to LA. It's the first time I've been, you know, wanting to move somewhere further away from my hometown for an extended amount of time, but that's just what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Want to start working more in the commercial world, and that's kind of the place to do it. The market for here in San Francisco is not really photography oriented anymore, other than for artwork. So.
And tell us about your interest in also in New York and stuff too.
I want to go to New York eventually, but I feel like you need a bigger safety net to move that far across the world, you know, or across the states at least.
Yeah.
And so I want to go and just establish myself more as a photographer that can be hired into things, you know, and so not just some guy that walks around and is a loner that makes photos of strangers all day.
So why do you like taking photos of strangers? What draws you to it?
It's something I can do alone, and that's what I really like to be alone, and so that's why I like photography in general, not just street photography. You can be fine by yourself because your interactions can consist of different things other than having to have a best friend around you. You know what I mean? And so I like to hang out with people, but when I'm drained of my energy, I like to go home and recharge. And so when I'm not really feeling like being on all the time, I can just walk around and enjoy the silence a little more, I guess.
So you're the type of person you prefer to shoot by yourself, not with other people.
I do like walking around with people, but it just sucks sometimes when you feel like you have to elbow your friend out of the way for your shot. Yeah. Because that's what I look at it. I look at it like it's my shot if I want it, and I want to take it first. You know, so I can lay claim to it.
And how did you I guess quote unquote discover street photography?
You know, honestly, up until about 5 years ago, I didn't know about the genre or anything like that. I guess how it starts with most people. I was just walking around making photos, and I happened to like some of the pictures of the strangers I took. You know, it turned out to. I started off like everyone else, street performers, homeless people. You know, shit like that, and then I started noticing other avenues that people were going in with this kind of work, and I noticed that they were doing the exact opposite of what I was doing, and I started to really think of why. And then I just, you know, started diving headfirst into trying to learn about things. So.
Because I remember, I think the first time we met was what, like maybe 3 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago.
And and I think in a very short period of time, comparing your earlier work to the photos you've been making now, in my opinion, it's been a huge leap. Can you tell us a little bit about, I guess, how your style or your approach has changed or evolved over the years?
I don't think my approach has changed. It might. Ike, come on, don't bite her, Kim. Anyways, I think my approach has always been the same. And I think it's finessed a little more. I calmed down. I learned to not run into it. I learned how to walk into a situation instead of run. You know, because at a point in time, you have to realize that, it's not always about the sneak up on people. It's like sometimes it's time to plant your foot, and to look at the scene and then to start from the outside and 1, 2, 3, and then maybe that's your shot as opposed to that one shot and keep walking. So I think I learned how to observe a scene a lot more, but my approach is generally the same.
And I think one of the interesting things when I first met you was how interested you were shooting in film. Like you worked at the lomography store for a bit, and nowadays you shoot film and digital. And so can you tell us a little bit maybe about I guess your passion for film, as well as when you decide to shoot digitally and stuff like that?
Sure. I guess I always have this phrase that I used to tell younger people that would come into the store looking for their first types of cameras, and they would they wanted an all-in-one camera. And I don't personally believe that there's an all-in-one camera because they're tools, and you don't build a birdhouse with a sledgehammer. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And so I always will tell them, well, this is for this and this would be for that, but if you're looking for something that has more of a general purpose that's not going to set you back this much, well then this would be that, but it's not going to be your end-all be-all camera. I don't think that any camera will be that for most people, although I do have my favorites that I go to, but I balance between film and digital basically because shooting film slows me down, and it teaches me to wait and to observe a shot a little bit more. And then also, as a broke photographer, I want to look at photographs, and so something like a digital camera is a viable option for me. I don't come from the school of thought that one is better than the other, even though I prefer film. So if I had to pick a camera, it would be my film camera. So
is it a lot of it the aesthetic as well?
It's everything about it. It's loading it. It's advancing the film. It's the feeling of the shutter. It's got a hands-on feel. It's why I understand why somebody would rather make their own T-shirt as opposed to go buy it. It encompasses more feeling and thought, I guess. Also that dollar a shot, 50 cents a shot, whatever it is, however you process or do whatever. It makes you think twice before hitting the button, and so when I notice that I'm out and I can go out and take 10 photographs, or I can go out and take 1,000 photographs depending on how long I'm out. I don't spray and pray. I don't put it on multiple exposure settings where it fires off 3 shots in a row.
Definitely.
But if I go out and I take 500 photographs, be it film or digital, I think that the film helps me calm down and think a bit more. So.
And I know you jump a lot between working in black and white and color. Is this kind of more of a conscious decision, or your mood, or?
I think that's certain shots. Thank you. I think that certain shots have a certain calling to things. It's I don't know, maybe kismet, I guess is the word.
What does that mean?
It's that feeling to me where that when you look at the back of your viewfinder at a digital shot, you're like, wow, this would look great in black and white. Like that the feeling to me is there immediately, and I'll know. But at the same time, thanks to things like Lightroom, I can preview and make the decisions there. But the reason why I shoot black and white film is if I'm going to make like a zine or a book, it's cheaper to make, and if it's cheaper by by a lot. So if I could shoot color all the time and produce the same amount of work and the books and things that I plan on making, then I would love to do that. So it just will take a lot out.
Speaking of zines, let me hold that. So can you tell us about this zine you made right here?
Sure. This is I got invited to show at a gallery called 111 Minna, and I decided that I was going to shoot all new unseen material for it, as opposed to pulling things out of my blog or my Flickr that people had already seen. I wanted to show things, and I wanted to challenge myself to see if I could take a few months to really sit on some things and think about it, which is hard because I think that nowadays the one photograph doesn't work for me anymore. I believe that working in series is the next step in becoming a better photographer, learning how to sequence, learning how to juxtapose things that will make you think that, like, wow, that is a completely unrelated shot in a way, but it really works with the next image. And so that's why I wanted to shoot all new works for the gallery show. And in the process of that, I ended up having more photographs than I was going to print, and I decided to make the book to accompany the show.
So can you maybe flip through the book and maybe even just share like how you decided to, like, your thought process and the editing and sequencing side of things?
Well, let's see.
Oh yeah, let's see the Eric Kim inscription.
Hey, for Eric Kim.
For Eric Kim, nice.
Yep. So basically, I learned how to edit from my friend Emilio Buñuelos.
Yeah.
I learned how to edit better.
Yeah.
He taught me the best way for me that works is to get your 4x6s.
Yeah.
Print them out, sit on the floor, and arrange them until you're happy.
Yeah.
And whether it takes a month, 2 months, 6 months, whatever, it works better for me.
Yeah.
And so, and also like having the physical prints in your hand as opposed to arranging on a screen works a lot better for me because I'm not super computer savvy.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, this is a mix of personal life photographs, you know, candid moments, street photography, whatever you want to call it. They're just a mix of photographs that I made. They're all I scanned them all in myself, and
this is all shot on black and white film.
All shot on black and white film.
Yep.
With the exception of maybe 2 or 3 digital photographs in there.
Okay.
They're it just basically I left the imperfections in from the scan process because I like the way it looks. I like the gritty feature of it, and I feel it matches the way it's printed.
So, how'd you describe the print? It's nice, got a nice little texture to it.
It's cream colored paper. Basically, this is what you call a trade book on certain bookmaking sites.
Yeah.
And it's a thick type of newspapery print, and it just I just like it a lot. I think it you know works well with the photographs. But as you can see, I left the scratches in here on Leonard's face, things like that. But yeah, jumping through this bookmaking site, I wasn't super happy with the gutter bleeds. They were very inconsistent.
Who did you use?
I used Blurb. It was just the easiest for me right now.
Yeah.
And you know, ordering copies and being able to store it and having, you know, an online PDF preview was there.
Definitely, yeah.
But let's see. But most of the time the pages worked well together. They're just a mixture of like lifestyle, documentary, whatever shit I make photographs of.
So what was your the mindset via? Why do you keep flipping through it? Tell us like how you decided to edit and sequence it. Was it mostly by feel, or was there some sort of narrative you were trying to say? Or?
Yeah, the book goes in it stops in a few directions. So when you're flipping through, I'll flip through a little faster because you don't need to. I guess.
Yeah, you can flip through it quickly.
Yeah. So I'll just show you. There's 2 stops in the book that switch transitions. So you see like kind of like frantic looking photographs, a lot of flash, a lot of energy. And then, you know, some things that'll stop you, like the dead eyes on the man with the face, the suit, and then it'll stop with a woman covering her eyes. So then I was, you know, okay, well, where do I go from there? And I go to what we don't look at normally in society and I don't look at like photographs of, you know, somebody on the street sleeping in a blanket with Disney characters on it as a cheap shot of anything. This is where I live. This is around the corner from my home, you know.
Being here in San Francisco.
In the south of Market area. And then it goes to, you know, things we don't care about, like veterans anymore and stuff like that, how we treat certain people in society, how we treat black teenagers and how I always advocate to photograph cops.
Yes.
You know, and then, you know, just like a woman not paying attention to back into something a little more frenetic in the pace.
Oh, this is nice. This reminds me of William Klein right here.
Thank you. And then it just picks up the pace a little bit more. and then it goes back into what I'm doing, and then it goes into the last break of the book where it's a man's face hidden but his eyes. And basically I take a lot of nude photographs as well, so it turns into basically something more along the lines of human sexuality and how we view it as society.
Well, this is interesting, this page here, because let me flip that one back. You know, you have a nude chest, and you have an old lady. And
she's looking at it, and I feel like her face is a bit disapproving. And so it shows how the generations look at certain things like that. Nowadays, it's more out there, it's more flaunted, and it's not as conservative as it used to be. And then a man looking a little wild-eyed, and then a woman enjoying herself later in life, kind of like how grandma's been there and seen it and done it, and she kind of has. I
like this show. Where'd you shoot this one?
This was at my ex-girlfriend's grandma's 81st birthday party.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's Ella. She was. They had a surprise party for her.
Lovely.
And then it goes into more wild juxtapositions, kind of where I cropped the shots a little bit to fit the pages, to where he's looking at her and she's looking at you, and then this woman's looking at you. And then this child is looking at you with the balloon, and then she's looking at him and he's looking outwards, to where they're looking at nobody, to where they're looking at nobody, and then it just proceeds to go to like the more of the positioning of looking at her, looking at you, an exit shot of somebody driving and it looks like she's waving to you, like saying goodbye. To somebody being like, hey, happy, you made it to the end of the book, kind of.
Yeah.
And then it goes back into where we started with the same nude woman. And then obviously the more scratched film and things like that. To them looking at her again and the crazy faces. And it goes to a celebration of sexuality again, and then somebody once again wild-eyed looking.
Where was this photo?
This was at a nightclub called DNA Lounge. It was a burlesque show and a wrestling match at the same time.
Are you allowed to take photos inside?
Yeah. And even if I wasn't, I would still do it. And then it goes to another portrait of something that you normally don't see, which is this girl actually works for an adult website. She does bondage films. And then it goes, to the end of the title once again.
Bitter and then some.
Yeah, and that's where the acronym, or BATS, comes from.
What do you mean by?
Bitter and Then Some is a song by the band Converge, and the lyrics are in the front.
So can you
of the page, and it's just something I identify with. It makes me feel like I need to live more in the moment, and that life is not preparing for the future. Life is happening right now, and so the future is obviously something good to prepare for, but the now is what's more important to me.
So it seems that your photography is it's a very personal thing to you, because you're not just shooting street photography, you're doing I would say maybe more documentary work, and you also photograph not just in the streets but nudes of women. And how do you feel like these all kind of coalesce together? Like
I feel like you can, if I want to become a great storyteller with my photos without having to say much about them.
Yes.
If I wanted to write about them, I would be a writer, but I'm not, and I'm not. So
yeah.
I believe that you can mix any variety of different photographs together to tell a story.
Yes.
And so working on essays and stuff like this is something that I really enjoy doing. And if your photography should be personal to you. If you don't have honesty and empathy towards your subjects, then you should probably maybe look for a different hobby.
Yes.
And that's one of the things I learned how to approach people is with an honesty. Like when I ask a woman if I can make her nude portrait, I walk up, and sometimes they're strangers. Sometimes it's a girl at the coffee shop, and I give them my card and I say, here, this is what I do for, not for a living, but for artistic expression.
Yes.
I'm not a creep, but I'm definitely a pervert, and this is why I make photographs of naked women.
Yeah.
I believe that there's something about you that I want to capture, and I don't like to photograph many models. I like to photograph people that are in my life that I know, because I find a very strong emotional connection photographing somebody nude and very vulnerable. And the vulnerability that you find setting up something like this is something that I strive to look for in other things. You know, and it all translates to different aspects of your photography, you know?
And do you feel like you make yourself vulnerable when you're photographing your subjects as well?
Definitely. You have to open up, and you have to be just as naked as they are, but emotionally. So, and sometimes physically.
The thing that I also think that's really cool about you is that you're quite active when it comes to social media.
Yeah.
So, I guess, can you share a little bit about how the role social media plays in your photography and just connecting with the greater photography community and stuff like that?
I don't think it has a role in my photography because it has a role with like let's just be honest. I'm online all day long because I don't have a life. and I don't have a job right now. And so what else are you going to do besides spend money you don't have? You sit on Facebook and you just talk a bunch of shit with your friends.
Yeah.
So, you know, I do a photo a day on my blog. I don't really participate too much in Flickr and things like that, but I do enjoy the banter between other photographers online, and I've developed really, really good friendships with a lot of them. And you're one of my good homies, and that's how I met you. You know, by participating in some of your group discussions, and I feel like I feel that my personality on certain social media sites has earned me certain friendships with people that would have never have looked at my work, and I think that's what's cool about those things. But it also is just a fucking wasteland of just bitter photographers talking shit, and so. But I like it because I'm good at talking shit, and and it's whatever, you know what I mean. I enjoy being a very weird, rude, offensive person at times. But I feel like I talk honestly, and I don't do it to really hurt anybody's feelings. I just believe in being real and doing me, you know?
Well, it's interesting because I know you on the internet, and I know you in real life. And I think, you know, in real life, you're one of the sweetest guys I know, you know. I really appreciate, you know, you've always got my back. And
well, and that's the thing, though. See, I don't hate on anybody doing them when it comes to them being real. You are the nicest guy on earth. I swear to God, you do this for the love of it. I mean, you do it because this is what you care about. You left your job X amount of years ago. You moved to be with your girl. You still did these things. You made sacrifices. You're making sacrifices even for your photography because you're out there spreading the word about something you hold deeply to you, and there's nothing false about it, and that's good for you. You know, so the people that 100% do them are the people I will always have their backs with. So other people that are snarky or mean on the internet or things like that will say things to provoke or make pompous statements about this is what this is what this is. Why can't they just be photos? Just make photos. I'm not changing anybody's life. Maybe my own, you know, and I don't even know if it's for the good or the bad, because photography for me is like, I mean, I might as well be doing heroin. I don't have any money. I mean, I spend all my money on film. I spend all my money on, you know, processing and all that shit and equipment that I need, not to be a gear whore, but you know, a nice scanner, a lens, a body, things like that. But I'm not. I mean, I'm still the dude at the bus stop with $37 in his bank account, you know. But I do it because it's true to me, and that's what I believe in. I believe in just doing you.
And you know, maybe while we're here, why don't we just give us a little tour of some of maybe your cameras and all the nerdy stuff, and because people always love looking at that.
Sure. Well, this is my digital workhorse. This is what allows me to.
So let me zoom in on that. So what is that?
It's a Nikon D600. It's just I guess a consumer full frame camera.
Yep.
It works well enough for whatever I do. So I mean, if I'm fortunate enough to book a paid gig, this is what I bring. I shoot nothing but 35 millimeter now.
35 millimeter, you mean the focal length?
Focal length.
Yeah.
I used to shoot 28 millimeter focal length.
Ooh, show us what's in your bag. Give some love to Bellamy Hunt.
Sure. Yeah. This one is my little phone case.
The black one.
Yep, that he sent me because
Japan camera hunter.
Because he loves me. This is also his old M6.
Wait, let me focus. So what lens do you have on it?
This is just a Voigtlander color scope R.
35 f2.
Yeah, 2.5. And it works. It's just, I mean, Voigtlanders are fine for what I do. I'm not getting paid for what I'm shooting film for, so I might as well not have to break the bank. I am very fortunate enough to have a Voigtlander Nocton 1.2 that I was given by a friend named Ronan.
You have good friends.
Yeah, he let me have it because I had to sell my 28 to pay the rent. And so I'm very fortunate enough to have people that care about me.
So what do you have in there?
This is a Sekonic light meter. It's a shutter priority. And so it'll, the goal for me is to freeze the motion or to drag the shutter. So I put the shutter speed that I want, the ISO that I want, and then I meter, and it'll tell me what aperture. So
when do you use this?
I never use it. It just makes me look cool.
Nice.
Like I know what I'm
Keep it real.
Doing. This is my SF20 flash.
Let me zoom in on that.
That's Cyclop by Beau Roulette, Los Angeles based photographer.
Yeah.
He gives me cool stickers.
Cool.
Gaff tape the shit out of my stuff because I always drop them. And that's pretty much it. My triggers, my M6, my Portra, my light meter. It makes me look cool.
And do you have a little sketchbook in there or something?
This is, let's see. This is a journal. So it's just.
Wait. Let's put it in the front again. Let me focus. Well, did you take that?
Yeah, I just cut out the square and then I glue them in.
Where was that from?
This is on Ocean Beach. This is by the Cliff House in San Francisco.
Nice. Can you flip through your book?
Sure. It's just got random writings and photographs that I keep thinking about, and some of my plastic camera stuff. I don't know, just a journal.
Nice. And you also have. Are you shooting most of your stuff on your Leica?
Yeah. I sold my Nikon SLR. So this is my only go-to film camera. I got a film point and shoot. It's a Lomo LCA that I use a lot. And then I've got a table full of Holgas and stuff over by Daniel.
Table full of Holgas.
Diana from the '60s.
Nice.
This guy finally calmed down.
This guy's finally calmed down. So a little bit some nerdy questions.
Sure.
So, can you share why you like to shoot with your film rangefinder for your 35mm work?
It makes me look cool. I don't know. I like it. I like the Leica. It's simple. It isn't. It isn't the best for for everything, but for what I do, it pretty much works most of the time. I wish that it had a rear curtain function, but it doesn't. So when I'm shooting at night, sometimes I put it in bulb exposure, and I drag the shutter that way, and then manually pop the flash off at the end, which is something I like aesthetically.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's got a solid meter on it. It doesn't need a meter, doesn't need a battery. I've dropped it, I mean, my filter ring's bent on all my cameras. It just takes a beating, and it'll be around long after that Nikon is, so.
And are you shooting mostly zone focusing at f8 and stuff like that? Or?
Yeah, mostly. And it's actually mostly zone focusing at f22.
F22?
Because I shoot with a flash. Okay. And so, I'm either shooting Ektar 100 and shooting with a flash, or I'm shooting 400 Portra and I'm shooting with a flash, and I'm pulling or I'm stopping down the flash power a lot. So.
And when you're choosing your films, do you try to stay consistent, or you just use whatever you have? Or?
Well, now, the last year or so, I've been pretty consistent, but when I wasn't at the luxury of affording the same films, I was just using whatever people would give me. So.
Nice. And yeah, I guess to wrap up the interview, any shout outs you like to give, or maybe just like words of advice for people who are also trying to find their own vision and trying to figure out their own voice and the personal reasons why they shoot photography.
The finding the voice thing is like, I can't even comment on it because I don't think I have really.
Mm-hmm.
I look at photography like a puzzle box. If you take a puzzle out and you're just putting one piece out on the table at a time,
yep,
you're not doing it right. You just need to dump it all out. And I look like dumping it all out is just making all the photographs. It's making your first 10,000, and looking at it that way. That's how you build a puzzle. You dump it out on the floor, and then you find the picture at the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Other than that, just shoot and be yourself, do you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, listen to people you care about, listen to people you respect. Fuck everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it,
Mm-hmm.
Nothing too crazy.
Last minute shout outs?
Yeah, I mean, if I don't mention Justin Vogel, he's gonna mention it when I post this. I respect a lot of people out there like John Goldsmith.
Mm-hmm.
He's always been there when I need to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Ronan Burka, always a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the lens, appreciate it.
Yep.
Other than that, most of the people on my Flickr and Facebook feed will see this, and I'll say hi to them then.
Nice.
So.
Cool. And any last projects, things people should watch out?
I'm working on volume 2, and it's going to be in color.
Nice.
There are going to be about 4 volumes before I decide to make a nicer book out of it instead of a nice zine.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. And where can people follow your work?
Well, there's 3 places. One of them is thoughtlesshero.com, and then you can find me on Flickr as thoughtlesshero. Then there's joeaguirrephotography.com, which is my portfolio, which doesn't get updated that much because it's a portfolio. And then if you're into dirty photos, it's iampaperskin.tumblr.com.
Nice. All right, so people check those out. All right, thanks a lot, Joe. And then you got the conclusion. You just say goodbye, street dogs.
Goodbye, street dogs. Cool.
Oh, that was good. All right, Joe. So this is your workspace. So can you just show us what you're working with?
Yeah, this is an iMac that I don't know what size it is because I just went in and said, hey, I want this because I have the money. I use Lightroom 4 and Photoshop CS5.
Yep.
Let's see. Besides the mess and the random shit on there, there's a Epson Perfection V750 Pro that I used to scan my film with.
Yeah.
It works really well.
Yeah.
And other than that, that's pretty much it. It's just
you got some leftover rice here.
Yeah.
You've got
coffee, some slides, an instant back, random film. I don't know. My drawers are full of shit, and there's a lot of dirty Polaroids and stuff in here.
Oh, show us some of your. Oh wow, you have a lot of goodies in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I take. I usually put these in envelopes that I send to people. Hey, look, that's you.
Oh wait, let me see that one. Oh, you never showed that one to me.
Yeah, I think I sent it. And there's just a bunch of stuff. Friends, all that shit.
So one thing I'm actually curious, this is just kind of unrelated, is how did you get into taking nudes?
Well, there's actually a really weird answer about that, is I developed anxiety about 2 years ago. And I didn't like leaving the house. And I got really stir crazy, and so I started inviting people over to make portraits. And I have a nice window light, I have a couple mediocre lights and stuff. And, eventually someone agreed to let me take pictures of them topless, and it just went from there,
So I'm still curious, like, you want to photograph someone topless. Like, exactly what do you say to them? It's like,
would you mind taking your shirt off? And if they say no, then you move past. It's just as simple as that. Like, I would never know if a woman wanted to have coffee with me if I didn't ask her.
That's true, that's true.
You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I think I'm very good at disarming people, which is why I can shoot close with a flash at times and not get into an altercation and all that shit. And I don't invite somebody over and drop the bomb on them when they get here. I'm just like, hey, do you have nylons? Do you have anything you wanted to wear. Do you want to do a boudoir shoot? Do you just want to make portraits? You know, things like that. So.
And then maybe we could go downstairs. Show us where you like to shoot.
This is where all the humping happens.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sexy.
Yep, I just got this hat at a yard sale.
That's a nice hat.
Yep. So.
Show us where you do your portraits downstairs, maybe.
My portraits downstairs are as simple as shooting basically against a white wall. Very natural. You just turn the lights on and you place them on the edges. Other than that, there's a bathroom, there's couches, there's a bed, there's a empty bedroom upstairs with other lights and stuff. That's pretty much it. No frills. I don't have enough money to buy anything nice, so I just use what I got. So,
use what you got.
Yep.
Nice.
So, bike.
Is that yours?
No, that is my ex-girlfriend's.
Oh, that is a sweet bike.
Yep. So, sweet bike, nice trainer. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yep.
I want to just touch this real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, I combed it for you.
Gotta get. Nice.